Welcome to this webinar. Today we will look into the Cisco UCS blade server systems and we will try to present not so much from the deep technical, but how the UCS X-Series addresses challenges in modern data centers and how to address them, and we will look also into the practical cases where we can use these systems. So let's start. A bit about me. So I'm an IT architect for many years. I worked as a system engineer for more than 2 decades, last decade as architect, with all roles from design up to implement and support. I worked with many vendors. I gave really a high stack of certificates, so it comes with time and mileage, of course. So my focus is data center all the way from virtualization, storage, backup. My start was with storage, but later on all kind of technologies, and also quite a lot of experience with private and public clouds. I'm always optimistic, and I like sports, cars, and of course, families first, always. I worked with Neil for 10 years, for more than 10 years, but Neil is one of the best system integrator in the region for last 30 years. Also, all the time with Cisco as a gold partner. We are focused on services locally and abroad, worldwide. So, and from 2019, we are part of Group Conscia. Conscia is now present in 6 countries. It includes almost 1,000 employees, and we have really common focus, and that's networking, hybrid cloud, and cybersecurity. And one of the focuses of companies is also to be the best place to work for in Europe for IT talent and experts. So let's go into the agenda, what we will see today actually. So first we will try to address challenges IT staff has today with all these new technologies, new requirements, new possibility with private, public cloud and everything. And what are the challenges and what we can address with Cisco UCS. And then we will see a bit more into the solution of Cisco new blade server system, see the key features, and we will also try to present the really great step into simplifying management of all our data center, not just the UCS systems, but data center as a whole, and including clouds. And at the end, we will see some practical cases where what we can do with UCS X, what everything we can address, what we couldn't address until UCS X was presented. So yes, next generation data center. We all know complexity is growing all the way, and also the public clouds, local clouds, what to do. What is the right way to do? First things first is the fact that today not all in cloud anymore. That was like, we talked about this a lot for last decade, but current reality is that there is on-premise solution also involved, especially for bigger companies. So we need to think cloud smart, not cloud first, but cloud smart. So we need to include cloud, of course, but we need still to try to simplify everything, especially from management point of view, and we need to put the right loads on the right place. That's I mean the key to success today. Also, the enterprise strategy group did the analysis, and of course, this is the is conforming this to have as simple as possible connectivity and interoperability management simplification. And as we can see, the cloud only is really losing the importance today. So yes, complexity. So today's data centers are based on really a lot of different solutions, since the business has really a lot of different requirements, from native apps, big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning. And with blade systems, until today, we couldn't address this because blade systems were compute only, but the VDI, AI, they're requiring also a lot of GPU power, and this was difficult to implement with blade. So there was build silos for each of these applications. So that because we had special rack server for VDI, then we had a special stack of servers for hyperconverged, and additional appliance for artificial intelligence or similar. So there, and additionally, on top of that, there are really everyday new technologies coming into play. We need to keep up replacing old equipment with new to be in the state of technology. At the same time, CPU power is growing, but demands are even more, and at the same time, the electricity requirements are growing. Prices for electricity are also up. So there are really a lot of struggle. And at the end of the day, we also want to be sustainable, of course. This is not just fancy word anymore. This is something we need to follow. Even regulations are coming in to fulfill them. So not easy to do, but how can we do? We need to at least to go to reduce complexity. So at least on the infrastructure part, we have possibility to reduce complexity, to simplify things, and with that we can do it more secure. And if we do it also more sustainable, that's even better, of course. Requirement for that, of course, is a consistent environment and a unified experience on as much as possible equipment. And Cisco did it. All this, he addressed it with UCS X-Series. So we can today unify many different loads into one solution, into one place. Let's say there's a blade server which can address all these challenges we just talked about. And at the same time, with this consolidation, we can get also great benefits from the power and administrative costs, maintenance costs. This is, let's say, many hits at once. And let's see now more into the blade system, Cisco UCS. Maybe first a bit of history to see that Cisco did blade systems already at the beginning a different way, which was really successful, and it was let's say it keep promise for 13 years about blade chassis to be the same for many years, and to follow many generations of CPU and technologies. Many other vendors have struggled to keep up, and as far as I know, there are like 3 to 4 different blades chassis introduced with other vendors during this time, but with Cisco there was only one. And after 13 years now it was introduced the new chassis, which is even more future-proof with the design we will also see later. And to be able to manage all this, of course, we know UCS Manager, which was the key management point for previous generation, and it was really a great tool recognized by many industry. But now Cisco did even step forward with Intersight. And additionally, there is no real gap in philosophy. So we can do the same way still also on the new systems with pools, profiles, templates, and even more. Cisco Intersight today can manage also older systems, so that you have investment protection in front and for the back solutions. So the new system looks like this: 7 rack units, can include up to 8 blades, but as we will see forward, there are not only compute blades. We are more flexible also with additional roles for blades. This chassis is future proof. Of course, it has even liquid cooling support announced, so and all kind of new technologies which are coming. How is that possible? So all these innovations, new ideas were recognized also and awarded many times. I was quite impressed with this SEAL award I saw. This is really something that usually IT solution doesn't get, but Cisco UCS X was recognized as the most sustainable product from the point of as less raw materials used for components, the design all the way to reduce the usage of electricity and use and requirements for cooling. So it was hats off to Cisco really for this. So let's go now more technical. I like this picture really. This is the chassis, the new chassis. So it's just really simplified, and it can take any load you can imagine, and also the connectivity. So it can follow technology any way you want and be flexible any way you want. And this is something really great about it. And you can easily follow them with different components to keep up with the technologies. And this is also recognized for many analytic groups. So what is the idea behind? So the first step in this new universal use is, of course, to add GPU power to compute node. And this was really struggling in the past. You cannot add real GPU power because of limitations of space and everything. But with the new design, it's easy to add GPU, up to 4 GPUs to one node, or even other roles will be introduced later. Beside compute node, you can insert completely different node, which can include up to 4 GPUs, and at the back end it's connected via PCI, and it has a 200 gigabyte bandwidth connectivity to nodes. So, and you can then add this node via PCI to compute nodes. So with this we can get a more universal usage of blade systems. The X factor is actually as this X fabric module, which is connecting PCI modules with the compute nodes. And this is done through PCI. Currently, it's 2 times 100 gigabit connectivity. And how is UCS X connected to outside world? Yes, we have intelligent fabric modules inside the chassis, each chassis, and then this intelligent fabric module connects to fabric interconnect, which are known already from the previous generations of UCS blade systems, but now went even up with connectivity and bandwidth. And the great thing about this is that, yes, with the first chassis, we need fabric interconnects. But later, when we are adding chassis, when we scale up, we can just connect to existing fabric interconnect. We don't need additional fabric interconnect for each chassis, but we can scale out with first pair of fabric interconnect for managed chassis. And to manage all this, yes, it can be a struggle because in today's infrastructures, there are really a lot of challenges which we already talk about a bit, but everything must be fast, must be in multiple locations. And up to now, there was, for each location, there was one management environment, including with the Cisco UCS blade systems. So on each location, you need local management interface and local domain, local profiles. And in today's data centers, which are spread on many different data centers, locations, and also including cloud, we need a tool which is single pane of glass where we can do the visualization, monitoring, keep up to see all the lights are up and running. And if we can even do a control of all the environment, there's from the same place, that's next step in simplification, of course. And at the end of the day, we can even automate. In larger environments, automatization is a must, and all automatization is done through API. And this is really a great tool. Cisco site was already introduced a few years ago, but with UCS X, it was taken into the next level. Today, we can do with Cisco Intersite, we can manage all the equipment, we can manage, of course, the new blade system, we can manage all the rack servers from Cisco and also from other vendors. And we have connectivity to ticketing systems like ServiceNow or similar. One of the great benefits is these global policies. We can use the pools and profiles for blade systems and rack servers globally. We are not anymore connected to one location. Behind all this manageability is Redfish implementation using APIs, and it's simple, secure, and it's well recognized standard in IT today. Cisco Intersite is allowing us to do the first day, to do the deploy, installation, and configuration, and we can leave then with it for monitoring and alerting, and even do the maintenance and troubleshooting. And we have many different ways to do it from different tool environments, and it's also via mobile devices. Of course, because this is a cloud-based application, it's like software as a service running in the cloud. It was running before only in States, but recently it was also introduced in Germany, so it's also covering Europe now. If you have a dark side, there is a possibility to have a local appliance implemented. There are some benefits, of course, and minuses also. There is also inter-site workload available with higher license, and which gives us visibility also into the cloud loads. So we have insights into real performances wherever our load is. Is it in our local systems or in the cloud? So, and we can even do the actions to optimize loads and do the and move the loads between different locations and solutions. Intersite is using Redfish, as we already mentioned, and we can not just look into the equipment, but we can even configure it. So we can even configure Dell or HPE server, different storage, Hitachi NetApp Pure Storage. We do a lot with Pure Storage, and there's also connectivity to some software solutions. Okay, so let's look into the use cases. So there's not anymore just SAP, SQL, Oracle, or this kind of compute power to be used. These are the only cases, and virtualization, of course, not. that's self. So we have here today with UCS X, we can address also artificial intelligence, machine learning, VDIs, big data, software-defined storages as hyper-converged environments, containers, and this is possible really with this flexibility and additional nodes with GPU roles. One example for containers and artificial intelligence and other loads, these are possibility which can be load into these environments. This was only possible before with rack servers with dedicated GPUs and dedicated role for these servers only for that purpose. So the hyperconverged. So actually today these blades can include NVMe storage with higher capacity per node, and of course with NVMe technologies this is possible today. And actually vSAN ready nodes are already on the list for vSAN. It's the M6 and M7 generation, and also this is quite the latest news. Nutanix is now supported on C-Series, but it's announced that it will be also on UCS X-Series. So this is also next step in universal use of UCS systems. Also backup, we remember S servers, of course, they are dedicated just for high capacity, usually were implemented for backups, but demands for backup and especially for quick restores, it is not possible to address that with old rotating disks. Today we need a modern high power with NVMe capacities solutions, and Cohesity is like next generation backup solution, very well recognized also by Gartner and similar, is now also possible with UCS X blade system. Let's see a bit of comparison. So, rack servers versus blades with Cisco. So, rack servers are still separated devices, especially if we don't have fabric interconnect. If we see this point of view without fabric interconnect to compare. If we have fabric interconnect and rack servers, there is a blur here because some benefits are then also possible for rack servers from right side. So, okay, if we have standalone rack servers, there's of course management for each rack server. We need to connect to each server to manage it. It's more complex. There are really a lot more cables and power requirements since each server must have all the components inside, and at the end of the day is actually less efficient. It's less there is a lot more raw materials used, more power used, more components must be hot even if they're not really used, and but it has benefits when the environment is small. So it's like small middle business. When you see like up to 3-4 servers, today there are really high CPU powers available. So in Slovenia, actually, there's really big market, really big SMB market. So, and it's difficult to address that with blades. But at the end of the day, you have independent solutions. Some people like also this one, not to be independent, but it prevails. It depends what kind of environment you have. On the other side, blades. With UCS X, you get single pane of glass for management, configuration, monitoring, automation, everything from the same point. You don't need to connect to any other interface anymore. From infrastructure point of view, at the end of the day, of course, because of that, it's simple, and you can even extend this tool to cloud loads. You can even connect rack servers from Cisco, Dell, or HP and manage them. Their blades at the end of the day are much more efficient since many components are shared, and it can be built really more optimized and sustainable. We mentioned that many times today already. But there is a, maybe I would say the only side bad thing is that it is difficult to address SMB with blades, because you need at least, I would say, 6 blades to start to break even that benefit I mean, from the price point of view. This is from our experience. We had recently one project and we won against competitor, which is usually cheaper, but as we found out that it is possible to win with not really big challenges. So it is great solution, but it's, as we found out on the public tender, it's not even the most expensive. So really great, and we're looking forward to get more projects. Maybe some scenarios today when you have already some kind of equipment and what to do. Yeah, you will say, yeah, add UCS X, of course, but there are some benefits with each scenario. So if you have already UCS blade chassis, of course you have a fabric interconnect for sure, that was mandatory, but you can replace, one day at least you need to upgrade Fabric Interconnect to newer generation and add UCS X, and you can still manage then the existing UCS chassis. So you can keep up with the old chassis and have the new Intersite to manage, or even you can keep the old UCS manager in parallel. That's also possible. If you have UCS rack servers, you can add the UCS X with Fabric Interconnect together, and you can then use the Intersite also to manage the old servers, of course. And you have a modern solution and still using old servers, existing servers, and have done a lot on the simplification of environment from the management point of view. And you can do consolidation in steps, of course. If you have some other vendors' solutions today, of course, you can consolidate with UCS X, and if you are lucky that have from this Dell or HP already, you can even go with consolidation in steps and do the management also of Dell and HP with Intersite. So you can do simplification on the existing environment. For appliances, for artificial intelligence containers and similar, yeah, you can keep appliances, but you can even go with UCS X all the way and replace everything, and at the end of the day consolidate together with other data centers environments and have only one place, not building silos anymore. In hybrid environment, you can monitor and balance also the cloud loads, and you can see the benefit from one or other, and where to move loads where is more proper. The workload optimizer actually gives you advises how to optimize everything. UCS X, we have really a lot of experience and references with the previous blade systems, Cisco blade systems, and we have a great team of data center experts with a lot of knowledge, expertise, mileage, and you can always count on them, of course. And at the same time, we are also Cisco training partner, doing courses also for UCS X and so on. We cover from all the views this UCS X, and you're all welcome if you need some advices, projects, and we can have a call, workshop, and see what we can address together. I think that's it. Of course, the session was recorded. You will get the recording and presentation. If you have any questions regarding this, you can contact me. If you have some advanced questions, of course, we will include our local office, which helps really great. So, and thank you very much for your time, and hopefully you get some impression and good information, and see you next time. Thank you very much.